planetary princesses, and you have landed on our planet. A spell has been cast, and now you are one of us.
Welcome to Planetary Princesses, your royal invitation to the cosmos. I'm Ashlee Claire.
And I'm Kate. And today we're so excited to have you here with us because we'll be talking about the summer edition of our 12 zodiac signs through the season series. In this series, we're exploring the zodiac through the lens of the seasons. And last time we began with spring, and today we're moving into the warmth and radiance of summer with Cancer, Leo, and Virgo. And so whether you're new to astrology or have been following the stars for years, this series is all about deepening your connection to the rhythms of nature and the energy of each sign.
Yeah, so looking at the signs through seasonal energy is such a powerful way to expand both their intuition and understanding of astrology. It lets you move beyond the keywords and the traits and really feel what each sign is about and how it lives and breathes in the world around you.
Yay, I'm so excited for this. So now that we've breezed through the spring zodiac signs, let's begin the summer edition with Cancer season. Cancer season begins at the summer solstice, the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, when the sun is at its peak power. So while Cancer is a water sign, cool, emotional, and intuitive, it paradoxically emerges right when the heat turns up. And just like the rising temperatures intensify our physical sensations, Cancer intensifies the emotional ones. And this energy makes total sense because Cancer is a cardinal sign, initiating the summer season, and it begins approximately from June 21st through July 22nd. So let's pull up the mood board for Cancer season and take a look at the vibes. And Ashlee, right away, it hits you over the head with some light blue and soft pink energy.
Yeah, the soft pink invokes tenderness and comfort and affection, while the light blue is soothing, like a peaceful sky or a tranquil sea. And the soft pink brings out emotional warmth and nurturing, because Cancer is ruled by the moon, the celestial body of emotions, care, and motherly energy. Soft pink invokes tenderness, comfort, and affection. And the pink resonates with themes of unconditional love, similar to the heart-centered, cozy vibes that Cancer exudes. Cancer is a water sign, and soft blue mirrors the ocean, the tears when you're crying, and the emotional fluidity. Light blue is soothing, like a peaceful sky or tranquil sea, and reflects the Cancer's desire to emotionally protect and to be protected.
Yes, they balance each other out. You got the pink, which is a little warm, and then the cool vibe of the blue, and it mirrors Cancer's duality of having emotional depth and also a desire for peace. And in summer palettes, these pastel colors, it evokes that nostalgia of childhood memories, which Cancer rules. Cancer rules the past and childhood roots. And also these colors are common in cottagecore and lunar aesthetics, and also retro family photo tones, all of which harmonize with Cancer's vintage, sentimental energy.
Yeah, and then the symbols for Cancer is the crab and the moon. So crabs have a hard shell to protect their soft and vulnerable insides. It's kind of like that hot dog quote. Do you know the hot dog quote?
Oh yeah, it's like hot dogs have that hard shell, like casing, but they're moosh inside, just like crabs. And hot dogs are a common summer enjoyment, so it makes a lot of sense that it vibes with the crab and the Cancer analogy. And
So
then
funny.
also, and then And then interesting about Cancer season is that also sunscreen is kind of like a symbol for Cancer's vibes because it's like a protective barrier for your skin, just like how Cancer's shell protects their sensitive heart and emotions. And applying sunscreen is like an act of nurturing your body and honoring your health and your well-being, all Cancer themes. It's all about like gentle care and preventing you from harm so you can safely enjoy the sun and water. So that symbol also really mirrors the symbol of the crab with the hard shell, the soft interior.
And then there's salt water, which is a physical manifestation of emotional expression. So tears are salt water, and the ocean holds our grief, our joy, our nostalgia, just like Cancer does. Cancer is ruled by the moon, which governs the tides. Salt water literally rises and falls with the moon, echoing Cancer's ever shifting emotions and intuitive pull. Also, salt water is used in many spiritual and folk traditions for cleansing, purification, and emotional release, just like the archetype of Cancer, who wants to heal and protect their loved ones.
Oh, I love that. There's so much protective energy with the symbols of Cancer, which makes so much sense. I love that. And the weather of this season, there's lots of sunshine and also lots of rain. The weather changes a lot during Cancer season. There's warm days and cool nights. You're wearing less clothes and more swimsuits. You're seeing people's chests, their breasts, their stomach more. And this really makes sense because Cancer rules the breasts and the stomach. And Cancer is the great mother archetype. The breasts and the stomach are the organs of nourishment and care. And so, like the breasts, they feed and nurture, and the stomach receives and digests and processes. And both of those organs are really important in how we care for ourselves and for others. Our stomach is where you feel your emotions, like butterflies and knots, hunger when we're anxious, or comfort eating when we're upset. And it's where your gut feelings, that phrase, comes from. And so it makes a lot of sense that Cancer rules the stomach for that reason. And then also the breasts and the stomach they're soft and they're rounded and they're always changing, just like the moon that rules Cancer. And they respond to cycles, pregnancy and menstruation, hormonal changes and digestion. That mirrors how the moon waxes and wanes. It's constantly in motion and never static. It's always affecting the physical body.
That's such a good analogy, because like breasts are all different sizes, just like how the moon's always different fullnesses. So I just love how that analogy can really help you understand Cancer energy, how it always changing, likes to start things and to put emotion into feelings into things. Like you might hear something that's so flat and monotone, but then when a Cancer shows up, suddenly like there's art in everything. And that's what I noticed the most about Cancer. But like you said, Cancer season, it starts getting hot. The heat dissolves boundaries. So clothes come off and people let their guards down. Hearts open more easily. Now, Cancer rules vulnerability, and heat makes us more emotionally porous. And, I also want to say when the very beginning of Cancer season starts and it's the first time you're wearing that little bikini out on the beach, you might feel a little like, ooh, I feel kind of naked. People are looking, oh, look how pale my skin is. Like, I need to like get a tan or something. Like the white milky skin or the lighter toned of skin that would be normally from your palette, it's going to be lighter, just like Cancer energy starts out like lighter, like milk colored, like the mother's breasts.
And the thing about Cancer season, what's going on during the season, it's also a time where we're celebrating. We have 4th of July as a celebration during Cancer season. And, even though it's a patriotic holiday, Cancer does rule patriotism. It's celebrated with backyard barbecues, family gatherings, and fireworks. So it's really a celebratory energy as well as a nourishing energy. You're enjoying all the picnics and food and the gatherings, like the whole spread on the table for 4th of July, which is nourishing you, but you're also celebrating something. You're celebrating the birth of the country. Interesting that it's 4th of July because that is literally the birth of America, and Cancer rules the mother and birth in a way. So that's really connected to the Cancer themes. And during this season too, it's like there's less of a need to work hard. You're visiting and reconnecting with family and old friends. Like Cancer rules your family. And so you might be seeing family that you haven't seen in a while during these celebrations, and getting away. Now that school is out, people are just having more fun, really like as much fun as possible. Cancer's a very fun season.
Yeah, families start shifting gears from structured routines to more relaxed routines. You're at home more than you normally would be because school's out. Then there's summer Fridays, so you can get more things done for yourself and not the systems. And then there's more outdoor dining, more visiting people, like, hey, it's summertime, I'm going to go visit my friends from here, or we're having a family reunion, everyone's flying in. It brings out like that nostalgia, and it pulls on those strings because people tend to reach out more to their roots, even like through calls or visits or reunions. And more people will spend time around water. Instead of the Gemini sprinklers, we're going more to beach days, we're going swimming, or we're chilling by the water because it feels naturally soothing and emotionally replenishing. It's about connecting with that watery and reflective mood. And like the crab, the hard shell on the outside, because Cancers could come out to be a little tough at first, like until they start releasing like who they are more. I would say that flip-flops are the same way. Flip-flops start coming out during Cancer season, and they're soft on the inside but protective on the outside, just like the crab. They shield your feet from the ground, like the Cancer's protective instinct, but they're open, they're gentle, they're barely there, like Cancer's emotional transparency with people that they trust. I really, really, really want a hot dog.
I know. Talking about all this, it makes me want a hot dog real bad.
Real bad.
Yes. And yeah, I love that flip-flop analogy because with flip-flops too, it's like they protect your feet from the hot sand, right? But then also you need to be careful of not getting a sunburn on the top of your feet. Like you have to use sunscreen to like protect the top layer of your feet because they are vulnerable in the flip-flop shoe. So like that's just so Cancer to me. It's like it protects you, but you also have to be caring for that delicate skin on the top of your feet that hasn't seen the sun's strength in many months.
And you're also being a little vulnerable by showing off your feet. Like everyone's gonna see my toes. Do they look good? It's that vulnerable feeling like here they are. Look at my feet.
Yes, that's so true. And something that also happens during Cancer season is summer romances. Like I feel like also when you're at the beach, like everybody has like a summer romance book that they're reading too, Summer romances, they're like kind of a bubble or cocoon away from real life. And it's just like how Cancer creates a safe shell. It creates a safe space for emotional connection. And during a summer romance, you just feel seen and nurtured and kind of safe in this time-limited pocket of love. And Ashlee, I absolutely love the quote that you brought to this episode from Nicholas Sparks from The Notebook. I remember this from the summer that I had a romance when I fell in love with my husband. It's summer romances begin for all kinds of reasons, but when all is said and done, they have one thing in common. They're shooting stars, a spectacular moment of light in the heavens, a fleeting glimpse of eternity, and in a flash, they're gone. Just like chills when I read that. And I remember because when my husband and I first started dating, we dated during the summer, we got together during Cancer season, and then we were both going away to school at the end of the summer to different states. And so we kind of knew like this was a time limited thing. And I love how that Notebook quote completely describes that feeling of a summer romance.
Oh, that's so sweet. I always think of like Grease, like when Sandy's back in school and they're singing Summer Lovin' with Sandy and Danny, and they're just like
Yes.
remembering the summer, how hot and passionate it is, because cancers are memory holders. They remember everything, and it's the passion. So that whole song and that whole feeling just feels very Cancer, because Cancer loves deeply and they go all in. And summer romances are short but deep, very, very deep. They're emotionally immersive, it's vulnerable, and it could sometimes feel overwhelming, but like in this delicious, heart-cracking way. And that's kind of what Cancer energy brings to the table. They rule their home, their roots, and their family. And a lot of times summer romances happen like when you're going to visit family, or you're returning to your hometown, or you're on a little trip, or maybe you're staying somewhere familiar. Cancer invites those themes, reminding us of who we are and also finding love there. And it also, typically when the season's over, the vibe changes of the whole thing, just like how Cancer energy moves around a lot. Like one minute it feels good, then it feels a little down, and then up and everywhere, and just like the moon, which rules Cancer.
Oh, that's so sweet. I love that. I love that analogy, and that totally fits the vibe of Cancer. And let's also talk about some flowers that bloom during Cancer season. One of my favorite smelling flowers is jasmine. Jasmine is night blooming and strongly scented, and it reflects Cancer's mystical lunar nature. It's also symbolizing Cancer's intuition and sensuality and emotional depth. Like when you smell the smell of jasmine, you just think of a summer night. That's just a really all-encompassing smell. It's so fragrant and beautiful. And then same as honeysuckles. Those are also really sweet smelling and nostalgic. Honeysuckle, the plant, it clings to fences and homes, and it just mirrors how Cancer clings to cherished memories and loved ones, and really symbolizes Cancer's devotion and bonds of love and childhood joy. And then also we have Queen Anne's lace, and those flowers are just beautiful. They look like something out of an old fairy tale. They're like vintage feeling, and they're literally mimicking the feeling of lace. And I feel like we all had a grandmother, or we know of a grandmother that had lace curtains in their house. It's very Cancer vibes. Their vintage feel and modest elegance, they align with Cancer's old soul softness and really symbolize the comfort and sanctuary and gentle support that Cancer people bring to our lives.
Oh, it was so pretty. And I'm thinking about lace curtains now. Like, do I want it? Like, do I want to go like totally old lady, or no?
I think you do. I think you do.
I think I
It's
do.
very like comforting. Like having a lace curtain it shields your window. Like it's a little protective, but then it's also so soft. They're very Cancer vibes. I think you could benefit from that in your home.
Okay. I'm thinking about it, going full blown old lady. My MC is in Cancer, so no one would be surprised when they come to my house and see curtains. My daughter's North Node is in Cancer, so maybe that'll help her get to where she needs to go.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Anyway.
I love that. Yes.
Yeah. So let's move on to the middle of the summer, where it's hot, it's been hot, and it's only getting hotter, and it's going to stay hot. And that's Leo season, which goes approximately from July 23rd to August 22nd. So if Cancer season is what pulls us to feel, Leo season is what pulls us to really, really shine. It's the time when the solar energy is like super heightened, and we see certain themes show up more clearly in our personal lives and the world around us. So more solar energy, like the more heat and sun, it's related to confidence, creativity, and charisma. And let me tell you, that's what Leos have: confidence, creativity, and charisma, powered by the sun. And look at this beautiful mood board you made.
Oh, I just love the vibes of Leo season. You know, the colors associated with Leo: gold and orange and yellow. You know, gold is the color of a crown, and Leo represents the king of the jungle. You know, it's no surprise that gold is their color. And Leo being ruled by the sun, orange and yellow are just an innate part of the Leo aura. Like you said, it's hot, only getting hotter, and just the golden vibes are everywhere during this season. And the symbol like I just mentioned, is the lion, the king of the jungle. Like the lion, Leos carry a natural regal energy that just commands a room, and they lead with confidence and they demand respect, just like the lion rules its domain. They don't shy away from the spotlight because they're born performers and leaders, much like the lion who stands proud and visible, like that image in the mood board of the lion standing on that rock pyramid. That's just such a Leo vibe right there.
Oh, yeah. Lions with the big bright hair. Don't mess with me
Yeah.
and what I think you're going to say. Like, they don't hold back. And also, Leo rules the heart organ of astrology. So the heart is a symbol of your life force and your vitality, your courage, and your passion. And those are all like the core qualities you'll find in a Leo, everything that the heart brings. Just like the sun is the center of the solar system, the heart is the center of our body. And Leo energy mirrors the sun's role of being radiant, warm, life-giving, and powerful. And just like how the heart pumps blood to energize the whole body, Leo energy is about radiating warmth to the world through their own confidence and creativity.
I am married to a Leo and I have a dog that is a Leo, and they are just very heart-centered people, and it makes so much sense that the heart is ruled by Leo. They're just radiating that. They're pumping blood through the whole body. They're very embodied in how they present themselves, that full glowy vibe of a Leo. And the weather during Leo season, ruled by the sun, there's more sunlight, more mood boosting chemicals. When you're in the sun, you feel good. And, people tend to be happier during Leo season, more energetic and more confident and more likely to express themselves publicly. The summer sun radiating that warmth, inviting people outdoors. That's just like how Leo's personality is warm and magnetic and welcoming. They really have that like natural glow that makes other people feel energized and alive. Just like when we bask in the sun in the golden heat, Leos carry that sunshine energy wherever they go. They're just warm, glowing, and vibrant. And their confidence and charisma makes them stand out in any crowd, just like how the sun shines a light on everything that it touches. And even though the summer heat can be intense and overwhelming at times, that kind of mirrors Leo's passion and enthusiasm. It's powerful and it's really hard to ignore.
Yeah, the summer sun, it fuels growth, creativity, vitality, and life on Earth. And that's Leo energy. It's like that sun bright energy in a life form with a zest for living fully. And when a Leo is like super turned up, their energy blazes really strong, making their presence impossible to miss. So maybe let's now talk about what goes on during Leo season in the middle of the summer and how it relates to being a Leo. Oh, there's no major holidays during the time, at least in the US, and that is because we're the holiday. Like, we don't need to celebrate Christmas or anything. We could just shine bright ourselves, and there's more vacations and more road trips and lots of weddings and social events. There's no school, and we don't even have to worry about school anytime soon. So it's definitely more like play than work.
Yes, and that Leo energy is a lot like summer camp. Like when you're just enjoying that summery vibe. Like you said, you don't have any worries about school in your mind. You're just enjoying that present moment. And when you are working in the summer, it's more on passion projects. So it's things that really light you up inside that you have extra time to do. It's a real great time for creativity. Leos are a very creative sign. And just like dancing on the sand or soaking up the sun with music playing, Leo's creativity is vibrant and theatrical and magnetic. Leos really perform their creativity on stage and also through fashion and in how they carry themselves. They're here to be seen, just like a sunset on the beach. You can't miss that beautiful view. When you're in your summer activities, you're really like deep in them. There's no distractions. You're able to really enjoy the coziness of a bonfire, with your friends gathered around in a circle and just enjoying that kind of fiery party communal vibe.
Yeah, and people might be like a little more bolder about what they're gonna wear, like animal print, or maximizing and bright colors like gold and orange and fuchsia. Let's do neons and lime greens. Let's wear our crop tops, cut out or whatever crop tops, like where you show your stomach.
Both.
Metallics, playful textures and mesh and see-through and all that good stuff with a little bit of drama. It's about being unapologetic, like I'm going to show what I want and I am visible. And there's also a lot of fashion forward events in the summer and like late summer cool launches in the beauty, fashion, and entertainment industry, such as like Hot Girl Summer, coined by Megan Thee Stallion, like where you're just gonna be unapologetically you and hot.
Yes, it's like because you've been at the beach for a while, the tan is tanning and the skin has that golden tone as opposed to the lighter version of the skin during Cancer season. You have that Leo sparkle. You're feeling like less modest about what you're wearing, owning your summer outfits, putting it on Instagram, posting about it. This is the time of year where we're used to it. Like we're used to the energy of flaunting it. It's not as reserved as it is at the beginning of Cancer season. It really mirrors Leo's brave personality of not being modest. And you know, this is like the season of vacation glam. You're wearing your rooftop party fit. You're wearing your birthday outfits that pop like you're saying hot girl summer. And it's just a time to like show up and show off. It's peak selfie season. It's all about look at me content. And there's also an increase in dating app usage and summer flings. Like this is the time where put yourself out there, be seen, show the glow up. Very Leo vibes.
We're gonna have a 3-night stand just because we feel like it. Like that's Leo vibes. And
Exactly.
also like with the summer heat like turning up, you're probably not gonna like style your hair as much. Like you're not gonna flat iron it, you're not gonna curl it because all of like that heat and humidity will kind of ruin it anyway. So that makes people look less conformed and less all like the same. And it really brings out the individuality of your natural hair. And Leo energy is really about embracing yourself, like who you really are, and like showing it off.
Yes. And speaking of showing off, this is also the time where a lot of beach sports are happening and local tournaments. It's beach volleyball and surf competitions. And Leo season is a prime time for these beach sports. They're combining the fun and the sun and the crowd appeal, the performance appeal, which are signature to Leo. And also the Summer Olympics, which happens every 4 years, that usually runs right through Leo season. And it's when people are showing off that hard work that they've been putting in over years, and they're really leaning into that performance vibe and letting the sun shine on them and really glowing with the accomplishment of their physical sport vibes.
Yeah, and it's like that proudness you have of your country, like, yeah, I'm from England, we're number one, yeah, USA, like you're shouting our country's name, which is very Leo. And I was also thinking like beach volleyball has such a totally different vibe than a sport being played during Aries season. I feel like sports being played in Aries season is more like, we're gonna win, and like the men screaming and the women screaming and everyone screaming, when beach volleyball is more like a party sport. Like everyone's cheering and getting over really quickly. Up, we lost. Let's go jump in the water. It's more playful and more fun.
Yeah, and it's also like the outfits are totally different. Like sports during Aries season are like uniforms. You know, they're wearing a uniform, and it's very like you said, we're going to win and we're wearing our uniform. But then beach volleyball, it's like showing off the skin. We're looking at people's bodies when we're watching summer sports more than when we're watching Aries season sports.
So cool. And there's also like road trips and creative freedom, like Leo vibes, because Leo's creativity, even though they're a fixed sign, they do need to roam and have fun, like spontaneous summer road trips that lead to like unexpected but fun adventures. They crave experiences that will spark stories and stories that they could tell people loudly and proudly and give them new inspiration and let their own imagination go wild.
The vibes of Leo season are very fiery and fun, as evidenced by all these happenings that go on. And something about Leo season that we thought it would be fun to talk about is the fruits that are thriving and how they relate to Leo energy. So during Leo season, we're all enjoying like the freshness of fruits. And the first one that we wanted to talk about is peaches. They really represent warmth and vitality. They're juicy, sweet, and sun-kissed, just like Leo's warm, radiant energy. And their golden orange blush really mirrors Leo's signature golden sunlight and fiery glow. And peaches are like indulgence and pleasure. They're the emoji for the booty. And we're showing off our booties during Leo season. And it really also just exemplifies Leo's love for luxury and comfort and savoring the richness of life.
Aw, and then there's the plums, which are rich and intense, symbolizing the Leo's passion and creativity beneath that dazzling surface. And the color, that deep purple, it has like a nod to royalty and luxury, fitting the Leo's regal and dramatic style.
Yes, and also cherries. Cherries are bright red, bold, and fun, and they perfectly match Leo's playful, lively, and flirtatious side. I feel like during Leo season, you see a lot of people wearing bikinis or outfits with cherry print. Very Leo vibes.
Cherries are the emoji that people use for their breasts.
Oh, see? There you go. That's exactly it. It's just I love the connections we're making with all of this. And cherries, they're like associated with celebration and sweetness, just like Leo's joyful spirit and their love for parties and romance. And like you just said, their round, juicy shape invokes the fullness of summer and also Leo's big-hearted generosity.
Yeah. And all of these three fruits, the peaches, the plums, and the cherries, they all have like a hard pit in the center, showing that Leo has a solid core of strength and pride and even a little vulnerability. There's some deep emotions going on there that they bring on out in like a glitzy, juicy way.
Oh, that's so sweet. Leos, they do have deep emotions beneath that prideful performance spirit, and these fruits really exemplify that. I love it. And then we also have the flowers of Leo season, which are bright and beautiful colors. You've got sunflowers. Those are big, bold, and unapologetically radiant. They turn toward the light, just like Leos thrive in attention. They are the kind of vibe where they don't shrink away. They are tall, golden, and attention grabbing, and they can shine in any field. They symbolize the Leo's ability to bring joy, loyalty, and leadership and really lean into that solar power.
Yeah, and then there's the marigolds, which are fiery orange and gold hues, which are similar to the Leo's confidence and courage. These flowers have a protective, sacred meanings across many cultures, symbolizing a Leo's warmth and creativity and inner fire.
And then lastly, we have zinnias. And these flowers they're colorful, they're cheerful and strong. They represent lasting affection and joyful friendship, which is a trademark of Leos. They're really leaning into Leo's qualities of fun and flair and heart-centered loyalty.
Beautiful, such fun, bright flowers that just thrive and stand out, just like a Leo.
Yes, just like a Leo.
Now, Leo is a fixed sign, so it's right in the middle of summer. What happens when summer starts to end and we're going into our fall? That's when we go into mutable energy, aka we go into Virgo season. Virgo season is approximately from August 23rd to September 22nd. So when the sun moves to the sign of Virgo, everything seems to get a little bit more focused, a little bit more intentional, and a little bit more grounded. So if the Leo season is going to make us shine, Virgo season is going to bring us back more inwards to refine everything. So it's a time when earthly practical energy is heightened and we start to notice the details in things that matter most, like our habits, our health and our daily rhythms. Virgo energy is related to clarity, discernment, and devotion, supporting us in organizing our lives so they actually serve to our growth. And this Virgo mood board that Kate made is amazing. It feels so picnicky and end of summer, like, but it's also carefully crafted. So let's talk about the colors.
Yes. So I love how Virgo season is, first of all, it's associated with patterns. We have this checkered pattern here, like the picnic pattern, and Virgo loves systems and grids and logic, and patterns that repeat in a clean, symmetrical way really mirror the Virgo mind. Stripes are like order, and plaid is complexity made simple. And even like tiny florals or dots, that's a nod to the refined beauty in the small details that Virgo energy really embodies. The colors associated with Virgo season, it's neutrals. Neutrals reflect that less is more mindset, very refined, calm, organized, and timeless. That's what Virgo is all about: subtlety and cleanliness, and the neutral colors really reflect that energy.
Yeah, and there's also black, which feels Virgo because it's clean, it's elegant, and it's also efficient. It matches with everything, it hides flaws, and it creates some structure. And Virgos really thrive in the simplicity. They don't really like wasted effort. And there's also this subtle edge of control and authority here, but without being flashy.
Yeah, and the color maroon associated with Virgo, it's deep, earthy, and quietly powerful. Maroon reflects Virgo's connection to the harvest, like grapes and apples and earthy abundance. It feels mature and intellectual, being that darker, earthy red tone. And same with navy. Navy is it's the ultimate like smart but approachable color. It's professional, understated, and quietly strong, just like Virgos themselves. And navy has kind of like a mental sharpness, but without being cold or intimidating. And one of my favorite parts of the mood board is the coastal grandma vibes. We all know that aesthetic. It's like linen pants and fresh herbs in the garden and soft cardigans and clean counters, sensible but chic sandals. And the aesthetic itself, it's like practical and clean, comforting, and rooted in the rituals like morning tea and freshly folded laundry and walks on the beach. And it's about daily beauty and gentle order.
So the symbols of Virgo are this glyph. So the sign of Virgo, it looks like an M with like a little loopy around it. And the M stands for maiden or mother, which is associated with purity and fertility. The closed loop around the M represents containment and discernment and also modesty. Virgo's not going to have that Leo in your face sparkle. They're more like, let's keep things proper and let's keep things clean, because Virgo filters what's worthy and it also will hold in what's sacred. And Virgos are also traditionally represented by like a woman showing up with like one of those French breads you always see in the grocery bags. Like the wheat represents wisdom, discernment, and harvest. Virgo people tend to gather what's useful and then they'll discard the rest. So when you look at the woman, the pure woman, it's not about like sexual virginity. When they say the virgin, the Virgo, it's more about being whole, having like sovereignty and purpose.
Oh, those are such calming vibes, the glyphs of Virgo and the symbols. And it goes along with coastal grandma vibes. The, like the maiden or mother, also the grandmother as well.
Yeah.
And like you said, it's not about the sexual virginity. It's about the pureness of that expression of the sign. And then talking about the weather during Virgo season. So Virgo season, it's still warm, but there's a crisp chill in the air. There's some cooler breezes that you feel, and that really mirrors the mutable earth vibes. The seasons are transitioning, and the cool breeze really exemplifies that. The nights are cooler. You're able to put on a cardigan or a light jacket. You're embracing new fall fashion. You're covering up a little bit more. You're toning your look down a little bit. You know, the glitz and glamour of Leo season is kind of fading a little bit, and it's time to get a little bit more serious and have kind of a school appropriate wardrobe, which is just total cardigan vibes.
No cherries and peaches.
No, not in this season. Not in this season. It'd be a little inappropriate for your teachers to see first week of school.
Yes.
Because this time of year is like when you're getting ready for school. Virgo rules the day-to-day routine and tools that we use to function well. And so this time of year, you're doing back to school shopping. You're buying your notebooks and your pencils and your planners, and you're buying a little case to put all your pencils in. And you got your lunchbox, and very, very Virgo vibes to do all of that, to prepare for school, getting your system in order. Because Virgo people, they're great planners, and they take their day-to-day routines and rituals more seriously. Like, they care about the details. And going back to school shopping, that's something that causes us all to pre-plan, and none of your supplies are even used yet. Everything just looks so pretty and lined up in a row, and there's no smudges on the eraser. And this really mirrors the energy that Virgo strives to be like, keeping things really pristine and squeaky clean.
I'm just thinking of this one time I accidentally splashed my drink on a Virgo sweater and how upset she got at me. And like, I have no Virgo in my chart. I have Virgo in the 12th house, and I'm just like, throw it in the wash. But no, Virgo is, that's not cool with them. Anyway, during Virgo season, there's a lot of like end of summer gatherings and pool parties and barbecues. And I feel like those are more Virgo kind of parties because there's like an intention behind it. Like, they're not spontaneous, let's go dance on tables kind of parties. They're planned with RSVPs, potlucks, and sign-up sheets, and a vague sense that this is the last hurrah before being serious. So they're a bit more classy, Virgo style. So the conversations, they shift from like beach volleyball playing to planning. Yeah, we're celebrating, but we're also wrapping up. We know that school and work and real life is about to begin, and Virgo personalities tend to be more serious and logical, always thinking about what's going on. And also there's the let's feed everybody kind of thing. And like we said, Virgo is a very maternal sign. They love to nurture, hence that lady and her bread. So these end of function parties are kind of like seasonal bookmarks. It's a way of saying this chapter is ending, so let's honor it. And Virgos in general love a good routine or a good ritual. And these parties give a rhythm to every Virgo season. Like, it's August, it's tradition, one last splash before school starts. And these end of summer parties, they also have some sort of community service vibe, because a lot of them are hosted by, like, I don't know, teachers or PTAs, churches, neighbors, with supply drives like, hey, what teacher did you get? Whose class are you in? What are you going to sign up for? Let's meet the teacher. Then there's also the ice-breaking games of college orientation when you're all thrown in. Like, it's a little awkward, but you also want to be perfect. And it's like, let's play a game so we can all break the ice and get to know each other. Virgos is associated with service and support. So these gatherings often reflect the Virgo's love for helping others get organized and feel prepared.
Yes, it's reminding me of Brie Vandekamp from Desperate Housewives vibes.
Love that
very
show.
very like putting everything together in a row, organizing, and also being very helpful, offering service to others. That's very, very Virgo vibes. And then, just like Brie Vandekamp would love, after the party comes the real Virgo part, what they love the most, which is cleaning and sorting and storing and prepping. The pool toys get deflated and put away. The patio furniture gets hosed down and covered. The leftovers, they're labeled and stored. And these actions are full of Virgo's sacred maintenance energy, caring for things so that they're ready for when you need them next. And also something that happens during Virgo season that I think is so cute is like group bike rides, because the weather is not blazing hot anymore. And so like doing outdoor fitness activities like biking can happen easier. And I feel like that's very back to school vibes, like everybody getting on their bikes and like riding around the neighborhood, enjoying that cool breeze that you feel in the air. Just so nice and refreshing. And also, this is a time where, being an earth sign, this is really a time for farmers markets being full of like dried herbs and like little tinctures and wellness products as people begin prepping for like seasonal immunity, like cold and flu season. You know, there's herbs like fennel and lemon balm and chamomile and skullcap that are in season at this time. So a lot of farmers market purchases you might make will be in support of health and wellness.
Yeah, it's so Virgo to care about your health. Oh, and back to school shopping, that feels like so similar to Virgo energy because it is about preparing, but it goes beyond the supplies because it's really about planning your aesthetic and the vibe that you want to put out for the next few months. Like, oh, I'm going to the store. Do I want to be a little bit more rebellious this year? Or do I want to follow the trends? It's like preparing a whole new version of you. And like Virgo energy, you said this before, it's going to be a little bit more conservative because schools have a dress code. So there's not going to be a bathing suit you're wearing to school or a crop top. It's more about the sweaters and the sneakers. And it's also that crisp new shirt feeling, the smell of like the store on the new clothes. And the conservative wardrobe for the fall definitely mirrors Virgo's modesty, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. There's nothing more Virgo than like a preppy look. Like that's kind of the preppy vibes of maybe a blazer and like a collared shirt and buttoned appropriately, definitely not tied up like in Leo season to make it a crop top. It's definitely like a pressed shirt, and things don't have wrinkles in Virgo season. Things are very like starchified at that time of year, like you said, fresh from the store. Virgo loves everything to be precise and just right. And another thing that happens as we go into Virgo season is you're reviewing for school IEPs, placement letters, and getting prepared for class assignments. Parents go through the fine print of school placements and they adjust their schedules to prepare the kids for what they're going to need. Kids start to find out who their teachers are going to be. Like, you get your class schedule. It reflects Virgo's need to ensure all the details add up to success. And then placement exams for school, those can feel kind of critical and meticulous. Like, why do I have to do this? And it also is like, oh, things are about to get serious. That's very Virgo energy because Virgo excels at sorting people into groups or levels based on function or need. And it's never about judgment. It's just placement for growth and mirroring that earth sign energy. That's really a Virgo philosophy and what educators say about placement exams. And also, this is when everybody's finishing up their summer reading and their book clubs. I don't know about you, but I waited till Virgo season started to finish my summer reading. I was not a good student doing it in Leo season. I was always waiting for Virgo season. And, the sun's not as strong. So, like, you can still be on the beach and read as opposed to being on the beach and jumping in the ocean. You have a little bit more energy for the intellectual aspect of finishing your summer reading.
Yeah, like summer reading and book clubs, they're very much like Virgo-like. They reflect a Virgo's personality because it's like turning curiosity into wisdom. It's about creating structure within learning, and it's about connecting ideas with real world application and sharing knowledge in a meaningful way.
Yeah, it's just like a wholesome way to prepare you for the school season, and it really mirrors that intellectual vibe like you're saying. And we kind of talked about herbs earlier, but let's touch on them again. The harvest of fall herbs is very Virgo like. Fennel is known for its ability to calm the nervous system and support digestion and promote mental clarity. And it really is a perfect balm for Virgo season. Things start to get a little crazy with school coming up, and you need that calming vibe of the fennel to jump in. And same with lemon balm. Lemon balm is a gentle herb that can help with digestion and bring in a sense of calm and clarity. Virgos are known for their clarity and their calm demeanor and care for the digestive system. Also, chamomile is a classic herb for relaxation and sleep, making it really ideal for when Virgo's mind starts to race. And then also skullcap, that's an excellent herb for calming the nervous system and supporting mental clarity. So really, all of these herbs support that transition to this season where a lot starts to happen, but we still need to take care of our bodies and our nervous system and make sure that we're feeling calm.
Yeah, they're all about health, and their tummies hurt. Like, to be honest, they tend to have like stomach aches. But that's a hot girl thing too.
Yes.
You ever hear like hot girls get stomach aches? Probably because they're Virgos. Okay, anyway.
That's so true.
Anyway, let's look at some flowers that bloom during Virgo season. We have asters, which is a classic late summer bloom. It's like soft purples and whites, and it symbolizes a Virgo's wisdom, patience, and refined beauty. It's like perfect for a Virgo's thoughtful and modest nature. And then there's mums. So Virgos, don't get mad. I know mums is short for something, but I can't pronounce it and I'm just going to butcher it. So I'm just going to call it mums, but they're often associated with clarity and purpose and honesty and careful planning.
We also have goldenrod, and goldenrod is a bright yellow wildflower. And because, it's a wildflower, sometimes it gets overlooked, but it's incredibly useful in herbal medicine, like Virgo's understated practicality and healing energy. And goldenrod really symbolizes Virgo's encouragement, preparation, and vitality. All these flowers are very supportive, which I feel Virgos are very supportive.
Oh yeah, they always know how to help you, and they'll tell you whether you want to hear it or not. Just kidding. Anyway, that was so much fun, Kate, and we all hope you enjoyed learning about the signs through the seasons, the spring and the summer edition. Please let us know what your favorite season is, what your favorite summer activities are, and if anything that we said really resonated with you in the comments. And we will be back soon with fall and winter edition of the signs and the seasons in the next episode.
Yes, and if you loved this journey through the cosmos, we encourage you to share the magic. Send this episode to a fellow stargazer, and don't forget to rate, review, and subscribe so you never miss your next royal invitation to the stars. Thank you so much for joining us today. We are the Planetary Princesses, and don't forget, your invitation to the cosmos is always open. Until next time, Cosmic Queens and Kings. Bye!